Boom. So we back, another episode, Wide Out Wednesdays. Another special guest, back to back.
Yes, sir.
Reel them in. So if you want to get on the pod, hit us up. Coaches, former wideouts, current wideouts that want to give some game to the people, let us know. But my guy here, the Brandon Lee Taylor, out of Nashville, Tennessee, with us this week. Episode 14, right?
14, yeah. Man.
Yeah, we rolling. But yeah, a little quick intro about my guy right here, man. Great father, first and foremost. Great friend, and brother that we've built a relationship with over the last couple of years when it comes to just the training world and 7-on-7 and all that good stuff. So, played college ball at Houston Baptist, BA alum from the area. So a lot of gems are gonna be dropped. So make sure y'all tune in, get your notepads out. Ready to laugh too, because my boy gonna tell some jokes. But
you need to say something nice too, because he done buttoned me up. So go ahead and tell him something nice about him.
I ain't got nothing nice, but we go way back, man. Back to the hooping days, bandit days. So we used to look alike back then, but I look a lot better now. So we good. But it's all good now. But yeah, I'm ready to get into it though. Like you said, we gonna laugh a little bit for sure. So.
Yeah, yeah, not for sure. But Brandon, let the people know, just a little background. So you always have to introduce our guests and let them tell their story about, how they got into football and, playing their position of wideout and what that experience was.
So
hold it up a little bit too.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me testing? We good?
Yeah,
all right,
you should be good.
So like you said, Brandon Taylor, everybody know me as BT. Originally from Columbia, Tennessee. Moved up here probably I think we moved up here after my freshman year to go to BA. Started playing football at when I was maybe 7, and went to play quarterback. Them boys put me at DN. Yeah, that was crazy, boy. Double striper. But yeah, so that's how I started playing football. Hated it then. Hated contact. Hated being outside. Hated practice. Had to play uni. I ain't even gonna get off into that. They know what they do. They know how they get down, cheating at it. But yeah, that's how I started. But then that next year, that's when I started playing quarterback, and that's how I moved to the offensive side of the ball. And then I'd say probably about from 9 all the way until my 8th grade year, I played quarterback, man. I didn't play wideout until my junior year of high school.
Damn.
So I played
just like Greg, bro. Greg didn't play quarterback or wideout until 10th grade.
Greg, big motherfucker, boy. Greg asked me to play DN. Big dude. But yeah, that's how, like I said, that's kind of how I got onto the offensive side of the ball. And like I said, I always had the juice. Like I said, I played quarterback, but my favorite player was Mike Vick. So I knew once I got out the pocket, it was over with. You remember that? Like, you don't remember? Like, I was torching them boys over at Brentwood Middle, man. Nah, Jay Moore was getting off on our corners, man. I tackled him more than anybody. But yeah, like I said, played quarterback and got to BA, thought I was going to play quarterback until they see me run. It was over with after that. Got moved to running back. We ran the triple option then, the Oregon-style triple option. And then I would say after my sophomore year, the receiver coach was like, yeah, you finna play receiver. And then the rest was history. I started playing receiver as my junior year. I think I did maybe 600 yards. But, I mean, y'all know who was on that team. CJ was on that team. Jalen was on that team. D-Wade was on that team. So, like I said, 600 yards was good. You know what I'm saying? And then my senior year probably did the same amount, like maybe 600 or 700 yards. Really was return specialist. That's where I got busy at. But I tried to market myself as a receiver. So, yeah. And then, like I said, went to college as a receiver, return specialist, played all 4 years, played slot. I think I had a decent career. I started playing the long game then. When you get to college, it's a business decisions get made at that point. So it was more so about surviving rather than thriving at that point. So, yeah, and then that's kind of where we are now. Coached receivers at BA, coached slot receivers, state champion coach. So that's why y'all can't afford me. I got that ring, 2018, state champion coach. And, yes, been training receivers. I train offense. I ain't even gonna say I just train receivers. I do a lot more running backs than I do receivers. I send the receivers to these guys. Do speed and agility. Speed demon. Shout out to Radir. Do a bunch of speed and agility. And that's just kind of where I'm at. Like taking young guys. When I say young guys, like 13 and under, giving them a good foundation. And once I feel like they're ready to move on to the next level, then I kind of ship them off to y'all guys and let them get the ins and outs. of the game. So, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now, man. Yeah, that's my intro.
So, like I said, the second person that did start out playing wide out, you said what, double striper,
Yeah, but it's crazy.
quarterback to to quarterback to running back. What was the one thing that you said the coach was like, "Hey, you playing wide out," but what was that initial like? All right, like I'm cool with that. Or was they kind of like
100% cool with that. Like I said, my favorite players, as time grew on, like I said, Mike Vick was my guy, but then you get moved to running back. First person I thought of was Reggie Bush. I had juice, that was easy, and then every quarterback think they're a receiver, so when he told me I was moving to receiver, the first thing that popped in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm finna get busy. Like, I wanted the ball. Like I said, quarterback, I think majority of me playing that was because I was smart. You know what I'm saying? I could remember plays, I could read coverages and stuff like that. But that made my transition to receiver 10 times easier because, like, I felt like I was always a step ahead because I could diagnose the defense and stuff like that. But, no, I was excited, dog. I was like, we finna get busy out here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you, like, kind of how you kind of already answered my question about going from quarterback to receiver, if it made you like a smarter receiver and everything. And then also being in the slot, like, versus, outside. Being outside, kind of take me through the differences there, like what you like. I mean, I know you kind of played in the slot majority of your time. So, kind of how did playing quarterback really help you with that, moving forward?
So I played, like you said, I played mostly slot. And I guess when I played quarterback, we didn't really have slots. We had two wides. That was it. Split backs. That's what we had. That's throwback. So, like I said, by the time I got to BA, it was kind of the same thing. It was like H-back tight ends, 2 wide outs, 2 running backs. That was the offense, and I was one of the running backs. However, they started experimenting with putting me at slot, but it was like to motion me across to get the handoff or motion me in the backfield. I very rarely ran routes. I probably ran like 3 routes. Mm-hmm. One was like a clear off. Another one was like some screens or something like that. So I didn't even really understand route running. I'm still, in my head, I'm backyard football, triple move, all that stuff, thinking it works. But like I said, I was just the fuck off route. So mine didn't really matter at that point. But like I said, that junior year, I got a slot. That's when I started understanding concepts, like route concepts. Like, my route does matter. Even if you are the fuck off route, it matters because you got to pull this linebacker or pull this safety. You got to cross his face. Stuff like that matters. And even then, I still wasn't even a good route runner. However, I started watching CJ. And CJ was a hell of a route runner. Like, everything CJ did was super crisp, and he was still fast.
So the viewers know CJ
Sanders. Yeah, CJ Sanders played slot with me at BA. Was a 4-star, went to Notre Dame, did a bit at SMU. Should have been in the league right now, but my dog focusing on acting. So check your screens, coming to you soon. He gonna be up there, Hulu, Netflix, all of that. Give my boy a contract, man. But phenomenal receiver, dog. And like I said, watching him kind of like put me on game on how to come in and out my breaks faster. And like I said, me and him was both fast. Hands down, was one of the best route runners in the state. Like, not even just on that team, in the state. And his dad is Chris Sanders, who used to play for the Titans.
My next question.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, unless you finish.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, and it's crazy because I got to the Tennessee East-West All-Star game, and Chris Sanders was my coach there. Absolutely. And that was the first time I fell in love with the process of being a receiver. He dropped so much game on me, and it felt like me and him was just out there by ourselves. Like, it felt like I had my own personal trainer for like 3 days. And, he was – I'm thinking receivers on Instagram, foot fire. And he was like, man, if you can't beat somebody vanilla, you're not a receiver. Like, if you can't just come off the line with a regular release and run a good route, he said, you're never going to win your routes. So he put me on game about that, and I fell in love, like I said, with just the process of being a receiver. And I think that was the first time it was like, damn, I like this shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doing cone drills, like stuff I ain't never did before. Now, granted, my receiver coach at BA, he played at Bama, Coach Whitehurst, and he was good, but he made us fall in love with the game. Yeah. Chris made me fall in love with the process. Yeah, with the position. So that's kind of how that happened. And then, like, everything he was teaching me, I had seen it in CJ's routes. You know what I'm saying? Like, how to negative angles and stuff like that. Like, he put me on so much game. It was crazy, man. And I felt like that All-Star game put me on the map as a returner, obviously. But I kept selling myself as a receiver because I knew in the long run, like, colleges like returners, but you got to be able to offer a little bit more. So anytime they interview me, what's your best asset? I was like, yeah, I'm a good returner, but I like to pride myself of being a good receiver. Coaches ate that up. So after that All-Star game, that's when the offers and stuff started coming in.
So you answered my question about that experience of getting coaching from an NFL wide receiver. You don't know Chris Sanders, Titans wide receiver, in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s.
Google him.
Yeah, solid dude. We need to get him. He's at NBA now. We need to get him on here.
He do his own podcast.
Yeah, we need to get him on here for sure. But super solid. And you kind of answered my question about the different things that you learn from him, negative angles and come out just getting in and out your break. Simple stuff that guys overlook. That's not sexy. It's not
We ain't even work on releases.
Even the cone drill stuff that you see on Instagram, but it's the stuff that is important that you need to know how to do just day one coming into a college camp. Like 100%. NFL rookie can't do this, like you're gonna be screwed. Yeah. So my next question on top of that is, going from that experience, going to the East-West All-Star game, having to, market yourself, sell yourself. Today we're in the age of NIL and Instagram and branding yourself and all that. What's the biggest thing you want to, tell athletes today about that whole process of recruiting process and branding and all that stuff?
Well, let me say this first. If NFL, NIL was around when I was around, I would have made some money. I would have been fine. Social media, we was all over social media. We was in the news. We was fine. Recruiting, get this out the way. All my coaches came to my school and told me, they personally offered me. I had coaches coming to my basketball practice. After they offered me, they was watching me practice basketball. They was coming to track meets. So all of that was hands-on. If I got a DM, it was, hey, call me. That was the DM. It wasn't, hey, here's your offer. Come to our school. Nah, it didn't work like that. So are you guys out there getting them DM offers? They're not real. They're not committable. They're not. So, and that like I said, that was my senior year. So like I said, we talking about a few months I'm finna be in college. That's when my recruiting picked up, and it took the All-Star game to kind of put me on the map. And like I said, it was more so just going out there playing ball. It wasn't. I think I went to one camp. I went to the Vandy camp.
Remember that? How many camps you go to?
One. I went to one.
Camp.
I ain't do no, and that's the thing. I ain't saying like the rivals or the Nike spot. I ain't saying they not important, but I was a hooper in my head. I was going to basketball camps. I think I went to like 2 or 3 of them, but football, I went to the Vandy camp and I balled. I was killing the one-on-ones, but nobody was there to tell me about FCS or Division II. That wasn't even on my radar. But does anybody? I can't even. Austin Peay was trash when we was in high school. So I was not thinking about that. I was not thinking about TSU. Didn't know a damn thing about UT Chat. At my head, because it's Division I or bust. But like I said, nobody told me about FCS. So went to the Vandy camp and I balled. But your boy Van was there, and he kind of was already a hot commodity coming in. So I saw James Franklin take 2 to 3 receivers off to the side. He doing a private workout, and it kind of clicked in my head. I'm like, bro, he not even really fucking with me. So I got my shit, and I'm ready to look. I'm cooking. Like I said, I'm cooking over here in the one-on-one. So I got my shit. I told my coach, I'm like, let's ride. Tennessee Tech, Yale, who else? Butler, UT Chat, Austin Peay was all at that Vandy camp. And all them coaches tried to come and holler at me. But like I said, I'm like, I brushed all that shit off. I wasn't. Like I said, I'm like, I don't even know y'all. I knew who Austin Peay was. I'm like, I'm damn sure not going to Austin Peay. But like I said, like Tech, all that shit, I wasn't even.
Looking back, you regret.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like I said, I feel like if somebody would have been like, FCS is still Division I, you can still get your school paid for, I wouldn't have gave a damn about Vandy, bro. I would have been out there shaking all kinds of hands. Y'all know me, I be networking my ass off anyway. So I would have been out there shaking, like I said, yes, sir, I would love to be a part of your program, Austin Peay. What's crazy is if I would have went to Austin Peay my senior year, I would have been a conference champ. Instead, I went to HBU, and we'll talk about that shit later. That shit was dead. That was dead.
So you would say for the kid that's worried about going to the P5 school, the D1 school, you ain't got no calls yet, you ain't got no stars, like.
Fam, bro, just if you focus on what you supposed to focus on, and that's the thing, I ain't even shitting on camps. You gonna go to a camp, that's cool, but reminder, if you going to a Vandy camp, I guarantee you it's gonna be every school within, I say like a 50-mile radius, they gonna be at that Vandy camp too, because they know for a fact, if, Coach, what's his name, Coach Lee over at Coach Clark or whatever, if he at Vandy and he pulled like these Power 5 dudes, the dime a dozen, they still got the pick of the litter over here, and like I said, just because you don't. And that's the thing with the way the portal and stuff popping off, dude go to 1 year at P and go crazy. Ain't no telling where you can go now. You might get the call from Saban if you doing crazy. And you look at Deion, he hot in the portal. So, like I said, just if you out there controlling what you're supposed to be controlling, and if you got to put in if you performing, they gonna come and find you, dog. I don't care what school you go to, they gonna come and find you.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. What I'm hearing is like, man, like I always tell people like the camps and stuff's important, but really it's about you got to play, bro. Like if you don't got film, like if you're not putting stuff out there, like obviously there's some like other circumstances, people get hurt, there's other situations, people got to vouch for you, it is what it is. But majority, bro, like if you don't got tape, like you're not balling, bro, like you're not getting offered. I don't care if so and so knows so and so, and they gonna say, well, I can get you an offer and all that. At the end of the day, man, like it's what you doing on the field. You feel me? So. And even then, like 7-on-7 ain't gonna get you offered. I guess we can kind of go into that. Like obviously we got the Savages and everything that we do together. But like,